parts seller, or a potential owner? Then this program is for you. Join the mechanic Tunde Onakoya on Auto Clinic every Wednesday from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rev up in 3, 2, 1.
Top of the morning to you. It's another beautiful Wednesday morning. It's the 9th day in June 2021 and the time is 10:36 a.m. We apologize for starting behind schedule. We're supposed to start at 10:30. It's due to the load you have given us that we really appreciate. That's the patronage that you have given us on this show and on the station generally. The station is Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. And this is Auto Clinic with the mechanic. Today being a Wednesday, of course, that's when you get your weekly dose of everything cars and vehicle related. Once again, you're welcome. I am Tunde Onakoya, the mechanic. And this, as I said earlier, is Auto Clinic with the mechanic. If you're listening to us for the first time, and this is a weekly radio show dedicated to talking about cars and the automotive industry at large. You can watch us live right now on the Splash FM Facebook page, where you go to facebook.com and search for Splash FM 105.5. You can also do the same thing by going to the same Facebook and searching for Auto Clinic NG. You search for it, you can watch live right now, and you can share with other people that are not actively friends or fans of our page. But you know what? You should like and recommend for them to like as well. So on a weekly basis, you don't miss what is going on here and other things that we're actually sharing on those platforms. You could do the same thing on Instagram, handle Auto Clinic NG. As usual, we have lined up exciting stuff for your listening pleasure today. And we'll start with updates from the automotive world, after which we'll be discussing a very interesting topic. You should stay tuned for that so you won't miss it. Also, we'll be opening the phone lines and providing solutions to your automotive concerns. But I'll start with updates from the automotive world. First one is that Hyundai launches all-new Creta vehicle in Nigeria. And the second one is that Tesla issues new recall for some Model Y and 3 over defective brake bolts. Now the details. Hyundai Motors Nigeria has launched its all-new Creta vehicle in Nigeria with a redesigned and more powerful SUV model set to create unparalleled driving experiences for customers across the region. Unveiled during the press launch, the second-generation Creta has been transformed into the ultimate subcompact SUV for any terrain. Building on the success of the first model, the fresh-look Creta is more spacious, boasts of improved features, and utilizes state-of-the-art technology to meet the complete needs of working professionals, young peer group, and families. Central to Hyundai's vision of delivering a superior experience is performance, and the Creta is installed with a highly evolved powertrain engine, bringing incredible power and cleaner emissions. So there you have it. You have the new Creta available in the market. Now, the world's leading electric car maker, Tesla, is recalling 5,947 electric Model 3 sedans and Model Y SUVs over loose brake caliper bolts. Tesla said that the loose caliper bolts could allow the brake caliper to separate and contact the wheel rim, which could cause a loss of tire pressure. Reports affirm that the recall will cover certain 2019 to 2021 Model 3 sedans and 2020-2021 Model Y SUVs. Tesla's filing with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, said it had had no reports of crashes or injuries related to the issue, and that the company will inspect and tighten or replace the caliper bolts as necessary. The company also stated that in the unlikely event, if there is a vehicle damage from the loose or missing fastener, it will arrange for a tow to the nearest service center for repair. The filing with NHTSA said Tesla was made aware in December of a field incident involving a 2021 Model Y vehicle with a missing fastener on the driver's side rear brake caliper. And since then, the company has taken measures to prevent loosening of the bolts in the assembly process. That's it on the update from the automotive world. Don't forget you're still listening. Your Auto Clinic with the Mechanic on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. Today's discussion takes a look at the engine control module, ECU. People call it brain box. People call it, what other name? They call it brain box, they call it computer, they call it ECU, they call it PCM. Depends on whichever name you choose to call it, it serves the same purpose. In the automotive industry, the term engine control unit or engine control module is often referred to as the brain of the engine. Now, it's a small device inside a vehicle that controls one or several electrical systems in the vehicle. It tells the electrical system what to do, how to operate to ensure optimal engine performance, and it does this by reading values from a multitude of sensors within the engine bay, interpreting the data using multi-dimensional performance maps called lookup tables, and adjusting the engine actuators. So fundamentally, the ECU controls the injection of fuel, and in petrol engines, the timing of the spark to ignite it. It also determines the position of the engine's internals using the crankshaft sensor so that the injector and the ignition systems are activated precisely at the correct time. So you can see that it's a very powerful computer that is installed on a vehicle. And its job is to ensure that it uses the signals it gets from various parts of the engine to ensure that there's optimization of the performance of that engine. So how does the ECU work? Well, it is essentially a computer, a switching system, a power management system. It also incorporates 4 different areas of operation. It uses the input, the processing, the output, and the power management. So the common reasons and cause for ECU problems would be when it fails to do any of these things. And some of the issues it could have that will, cause problem for it is when you have a dead battery. Now, batteries have electronic cells which need to function in order for the ECU to function. So if any of the cells in your car battery is dead, then your ECU is likely to fail soon afterwards. So once the cells are dead, the battery is considered dead and your entire vehicle won't be able to function. So you won't be able to even start your vehicle and get the engine running. So what you want to be sure is that you don't allow your battery to drain out completely. And if it is drained out, you replace it as fast as possible. And that's why some manufacturers get their ECUs to go to sleep. So when the battery is dead, instead of the ECU still trying to work because it needs power from the batteries, they put it to sleep. When you connect battery back, then you have to start waking up those modules one after the other. You have to wake them up when you put them inside the vehicle. Or if you buy another one and you put inside the vehicle, you need to actuate it, you need to activate it, you need to get it to work. So dead batteries, running your car consistently, going on dead battery, for some vehicles would cause it to actually lose ECU memory, which could make it go bad. Now, another way you can damage the ECU of your vehicle is if you have corrosion. You see, the ECU has seals around it, which are supposed to prevent moisture from entering it. However, after a number of years, these seals tend to become worn. If the seals become too worn, it will be easier for moisture to pass through them and enter the ECU. So, moisture is a bad thing to have in an ECU because it's an electrical component. It's a computer that has electronics inside. So because corrosion will form on its components, if the corrosion is not cleaned away quickly, it will cause these components to get damaged and you will have a malfunctioning ECU. In this case, the ECU may not die completely. It may even just start malfunctioning. Now, you can call us on 0809155105 if you have any issue with your car. 08056998678 and 0706949300. I'm going to go on a short commercial break now. When I come back, the phone lines will be open. Make sure you've loaded up on credit and you can begin to call in and we can solve those problems for you. Thank you very much for listening.
Gbogbo ń tà fẹ́ nínú pàdé àdúrà lágbà yìí kú ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta 72 hours with God. Bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ Prophet Taiwo Òjó. ti CAC májẹ̀mú àánú ni Ọlọ́run máa ṣe àpàdé àdúrà ìfúnlóṣù mẹ́ta. Àkórí ìtìjú yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Friday 11, Saturday 12 àti Sunday 13. Nígbà tí mo wò ó fín, when I look at it more closely, gbogbo ẹrù ogun tí ń ṣe tiẹ̀, ó tó àkókò fún ọ láti wá jálẹ̀ nú àdúrà. Ìkórìtà ìpínyà pẹ̀lú ìwà tógun ní 72 hours títí ọ̀tà yìí. Ọ̀pọ̀ ìrìnsí Ọlọ́run àti àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí bíi Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí, Dáre Mélòdì, Ìlàjà Kétúndé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kẹ́ni ológun àrà, Bridget Adénúbí Esther, ni wọ́n máa pẹ̀lú bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó ṣiṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ṣẹ́. Mexican tó wà ní kìlómítà 18. Ifẹ̀ Ìbàdàn Expressway ló ṣègede láti máa pàdé. Ọkọ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ máa wà ní Ìwó Road àti Olúbàdàn Estate. Aago mẹ́sàn-án òwúrọ̀ táwọn bá ti wọnú ìpàdé àdúrà lọ́jọ́ Friday. Ọjọ́ Monday la máa ṣe orí ọ̀fẹ́. Ẹrù ogun tí kì í ṣe tiẹ̀. Mexican ní kò wá lọ já sí nínú àdúrà.
Wetin you need na safeguard.
Children that like to dey play.
Dem like to dey play.
Small pikin that must jolly oh.
Dem like to dey jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They comot every yama for body. E also dey available for 50-gram size.
Amatem soft gel wà fún ìtọ́jú àrùn ibà tí ara rẹ kò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ rí dókítà rẹ.
Scent so fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid filled chewing gum, not scent out fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Scent so fresh. The correct chewing gum, not scent so fresh. No darling with scent out fresh.
Scent so fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
When you want buy correct wakis, you go say,
abeg, give me amala 4 wrap, nkegi, ewedu, fufu, shaki, bokoto, abodi.
But when you want buy malaria medicine, you go say,
no be malaria.
Buy malaria drugs the same way where you dey buy your food. Make una dey always ask for Quatem. We also dey for cherry flavored dispersible tablets for children too. Don't gamble with malaria. Choose right. Choose Quatem. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
As the best man, I'd like to give a toast. But first, I have a few things to say. The money they are spraying the couple is reducing. It seems some people have rubbed glue under their shoes to pack it.
Clearly, he's been watching Comedy Nights or maybe My Siblings and I on Africa Magic Urban, DSTV channel 153. Now, you too can get inspired by our local entertainment. Get a HD decoder, dish, plus 1 month DSTV compact subscription for only 18,600 Naira. Because great stories start on DSTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rev up in 3, 2, 1.
You're welcome back. The program is still Auto Clinic with the mechanic on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station and the most listened to radio station in Southwest Nigeria. Of course, if you're joining us for the first time, you're welcome. If you have been streaming on Facebook, please watch, share it as well with other people. You can do that on facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5 or facebook.com/Auto Clinic NG. Now it's time for you to call in if you have issues with your cars, and if you have comments as well or questions, you can drop it on the Facebook page and we will attend to them right away. 0809-155-1055, 08056998678, 0706-949-3000. You can call any of those numbers and let's get talking about the issues you have on your car. Okay, we were talking about the engine control unit earlier, which is a brain box, ECU, whatever it is. What are the issues that an ECU could actually have? We talked about the fact that it will malfunction because it's supposed to control everything around your engine. In some cases, it is integrated as the PCM, Powertrain Control Module, where it controls not just the engine, it controls the transmission and the emission system as well. So if you have a faulty ECU, it could ruin performance of the engine, could ruin performance of the transmission. It could actually ruin the performance of the emission system. So what you need to do is to ensure that your ECU is performing as optimum. And what are the things that you could do that could really affect your ECM performance or ECU performance, whichever one you have there? We talked about the situation where you could actually have a battery problem. You also have a situation where you could have corrosion owing to moisture going into the system that will actually damage the microchips you have in there. You also have a situation where you could have a low voltage problem. Now, the average ECU is expected to have at least 9 volts to power it, but preferably 12 volts. There's a wiring that runs into the harness for the ECU where you can check the voltage amount. Now, if the voltage is 6 volts or less, then there's likelihood of a ECU issue because it's not getting sufficient power. These are some of the things that can cause problems for your ECM. Also, when a lot of people are guilty of this, when you jumpstart badly. If you jumpstart badly, you know that there's going to be a problem. You see, whenever a jump start is performed on your battery, you need to ensure that the jumper cables are attached properly. If you attempt to jump start your vehicle with the cables attached incorrectly, then it could shut out your ECU by causing it to spike too quickly. This will require you to get the ECU repaired or possibly replaced, and these things are not cheap. So if you don't know how to jump start the vehicle, the best thing is take out the battery from the vehicle, put a good battery in there to start that vehicle and get the other battery charged. Now, there is also a common mistake when people would want to take out their battery, start with another battery and return theirs in there. At that point, if you accidentally allow the positive terminal of your vehicle to come in contact with any part of the body of that vehicle, it will cause a short in the system because the alternator is already generating charging voltage. That short circuit in the system could fry your ECU. So it is something you really want to avoid. Okay, somebody on Facebook here is telling us that his name is Adegbenga Poski. Says, I've really missed out on this show due to my own availability in the state, but I'm somehow back on track now. That's fantastic. You're welcome. It says, Auto Clinic is the program I don't miss. We're back with Ronnie G every morning, about 6 years or over now. Please keep the fire burning. Thank you very much, Adegbenga Poski. If you want to call in 0809-155-1055, 08056998678, 0706-949-3000. That's 3000. So we're still talking about the ECM on your vehicle. Another thing that could be an issue for you would be when you have a bad starter motor. Now, many vehicles, or Kickstarter as is popular, many vehicles have starters with their own sensors in them. So one of these sensors is the override sensor, which manages how many volts the ECU will receive. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Kunle. I'm calling from Ibadan.
All right, Kunle, go ahead with your question. Make it very snappy.
I have a 2008 Nissan Rogue.
Okay.
It revs fine and works fine when it's in park.
Okay.
But the moment I put it on drive and I press down the accelerator, there's no movement.
At all?
At all. Then it stops revving fine until I switch off the engine, restart, then it revs fine again.
That Nissan Rogue, is it equipped with a CVT?
Hello?
Is that Rogue? Is it equipped with a CVT transmission?
Yeah, it's a CVT transmission. Yes,
Excuse
it's the
me.
CVT.
So it suggests you have a problem with the CVT. Have you tried to run a diagnosis on the car?
Yes, he said low fluid something.
Pressure,
low fluid supply.
secondary pressure low on the CVT.
Yes.
If you have that issue, then the car will not rev, will not move. You need that CVT looked at. Number one, go and check it for leakage. There's a leakage on that transmission. That's on leakage. That is oil leakage. You should check that out. Also, you should check out to see if the fluid quality and the filter is okay. That's what you need to do. Thank you very much for calling. Yes, that Nissan is equipped with a controller area network that the moment there's a problem on one module, it shuts down almost every other module. That's why the engine won't rev when it engages drives. Anyway, we're still talking about the ECU, and the program is Auto Clinic with the mechanic. And still calling, we have a minute to actually take another call. If it doesn't come in within that period, we won't be able to take it. So if you have a bad starter motor, there's a situation that comes that the starter motor will reduce the voltage that goes to the ECU. And if this sensor were to go bad, the ECU would not receive the correct amount of voltage. It would malfunction and cause further problems on your vehicle. So how do you know if you begin to have a bad or failing engine control unit? Well, check engine light could come on the car, which you will run a scan and will tell you that you have an ECU processor error. It's also possible that your engine begins to stall or misfire. That could also be an issue with your ECU, but the engine behavior at that point in time becomes very erratic. It is not consistent with the fault that you are experiencing on the car. It just gives you different faults. Also, you could have engine performance issue where the engine just is unable to throw off timing at some point. Sometimes the fuel settings of the engine becomes negatively affected. Performance generally, you know that it's a possibility you have an ECU problem. But before you conclude that you have an ECU problem on your car, you need somebody who is very good with using the diagnostic equipment and understands automotive technology to be able to tell you. Because it's very rare for you to run a scan on a car and the result of the scan is bad ECU. Very, very rare for you to have that situation. There are signs that your car will also not start or will start and stall. It's possible that your ECU is that problem as well. So when you have any of these issues, you need to get a professional technician to accurately determine the cause and also give them the time and the resources they require to solve the problem. Time usually is a problem, but you need to give them the time to be able to do the job properly. Well, that call has been unable to come in, so I'll do a quick recap for you with the ECU now. When you have a situation where the problem on the car becomes very erratic, it's not clear what the issue is, it's from this problem to this problem on the engine, check engine light is on. It's possible that the engine starts stalling or misfiring as well. There are instances where the engine performance reduces, and in some cases, the car will not even start or start and stall. You may have an ECU problem. Of course, today I have worked with Aziz as usual and Elizabeth Chile Ebuta as my studio manager and research assistant, respectively. Special gratitude to you for joining us today. Till I come your way again next week with another exciting episode of the program, I remain the mechanic, Tunde Onakoya, telling you thank you so much for joining us and listening. Au revoir.
You have just listened to Auto Clinic. Let's continue the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the handle Auto Clinic NG or 0809 873 8876. For sponsorship considerations, send a